When experiencing a trauma, have you ever considered how feelings of denial and shock may be affecting your healing? For those that don't know me, my name is Shannon Wooten. I am a lifestyle and fertility coach, and I help women who feel disconnected from their bodies heal by owning infertility sucks, you don't. So when we discovered that we were not getting pregnant due to symptoms related to infertility, this was very traumatic for me, as well as my husband, but I'm only speaking on behalf of myself, so for me. And in that process, as I've always said, I just reacted. I just responded to, okay, I'm infertile, I'm gonna do all these things to get me pregnant. I was focusing on the future. And when that stopped working, when we got to a place where we realized we needed to take a pause, I started to journal. I started to journal about my feelings because I was really tired of being sad. I was really tired of feeling like a victim to my infertility. And I was very, very tired of feeling like I sucked, feeling like my whole life sucked. And so, as I said, I started journaling, and then I started researching ways to process my feelings. And process is such a blanketed term. So when I say process, I mean deal with what the hell I was going through. I had no idea what I was going through. I just knew I felt crazy inside my body. I felt out of control. I felt depressed. I felt days where I had really good highs and then very drastic lows. So again, I started journaling and researching how people respond to issues in their life that make them feel a little off kilter, make them feel unlike themselves. And I came upon alcohol and drug abuse addiction, the 12 steps. And then I also came upon symptoms of grief and how to process, deal with those feelings of grief. And I went back and looked at all my journaling, and what I realized was I had a thread of taking steps to deal with my feelings and dealing with these symptoms of grief. And they kind of all came together through my journaling. And so from there, I started to write a book. I started to write a book about how to deal with infertility and come back from it by processing these feelings and symptoms of grief. So as I said, discovering we were not getting pregnant due to symptoms related to infertility was very traumatic for me. And going back and looking at all the things that I did as a response to infertility, let me know that the first thing I didn't do was ask myself any of the following. I did not ask myself, how does this infertility diagnosis make me feel about me? So whether you're going through an infertility struggle or a depression of any sort, one of the first things that's really important to ask yourself when you're faced with a trauma or a denial of the shock that you're going through is, how does this make you feel? How does whatever it is that you're going through make you feel about yourself? The other thing I didn't ask myself was, how does this diagnosis make me feel about my husband? And infertility, whether the infertile symptoms are on your side of the fence or on your partner's side of the fence, it's super important to understand, how does this make us feel about each other now? How does this make us feel about this disease together now? And infertility is not a blame game. It is something that you cannot control. And therefore, to add blame on it is just, like they say, it's an insult to injury. It's injury enough to be dealing with infertility, and to add blame on top of it is not going to resolve how you feel. So get to the place where you can understand, how does this make you feel about your partner? Where are you both at with this? And the last thing I didn't ask myself when finding out about our symptoms of infertility was, how do we move on now that we know? As I said at the beginning of the video, when we found out that we were struggling with infertility, I just went straight into problem solution. I'm gonna do all these things and then I'm gonna get pregnant. I'm gonna do all these things and then I'm not gonna worry about infertility anymore. And that didn't work for us. So what I found was, not only was I not pregnant, but I was still left with all the emotional baggage that I had glossed over on my road to Babytown. So dealing with denial and shock can help you understand how you feel about your feelings of infertility here and now. And instead of jumping your focus onto the future thoughts with having a baby. And that's what I did. I bypassed all my feelings of shock and denial and went straight to baby Band-Aid. The baby will fix the infertility, and then I won't have to pay attention to the fact that I struggle with symptoms of infertility anymore. So here, with denial and shock, allows you to pause, allows you to evaluate now how you feel to help make you clearer on your choices for a happier future. So whether you choose that your future is going to, come hell or high water, have a baby in it, that means you can, go the route of surgery and try infertility drugs, and that can help you. If it does, great, to have a baby. Or you can try infertility drugs with IVF to help you have a baby. Or you can adopt to help you have a baby. Or you decide, I'm gonna take a pause, and right now, my immediate future does not have a baby, whether by choice or not. Whether you choose to have a baby in your future or not to have a baby in your future, the happiness is not in your future. When you process feelings of denial and shock, your happiness is here and now. So dealing with them will allow you to find that happiness in your future. And happiness exists in understanding how you feel about your struggle today. Not putting it off for tomorrow, not putting it off for, I'm gonna have a baby and then I won't have to deal with it, because that doesn't always work. And I'm not here to be your 900-pound blanket. I'm not here to be your dark rain cloud. I'm here to say that in understanding feelings of denial and shock will help you to understand how you feel about your infertility here and now, instead of bypassing it and relying on what exists in your future to make you happy. Because there's a lot of things that happen between now and the future. There's a lot of things that happen in the future, and you will never be able to predict them. You won't. So what I found is processing my feelings of denial and shock helped me to become clearer on what was going to make me happy, instead of relying on a baby to make me happy. So thank you guys, as always, for joining. Throw me some love if you like this video. I truly appreciate having this dialogue with you and being able to keep the conversation open. And if you're interested, jump inside Infertility Sucks You Don't on Facebook and join the conversation that we're having and being open and honest about our infertility questions, struggle, wins, losses, just being real and owning infertility sucks you don't. And don't forget to post on your post this week using hashtag Infertility Sucks You Don't or hashtag ISYD, so I can track who is using those hashtags, and you can win free giveaways all week to show your support, whatever it is, for National Infertility Awareness Week. Do it on Facebook or do it on Instagram. I just found out that I can search by those hashtags on Facebook. So if you're doing it on Facebook, I can find you, or if you're doing it on Instagram, I can find you. Either way, keep the conversation going, support National Infertility Awareness, and anything that you can do to keep the dialogue open is truly, truly appreciated. Otherwise, guys, be easy. Have a fantastic week. Infertility sucks you don't, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.